My wife called on speaker. I'm finalizing the divorce. Her buddies laughed. I said, oh, Luis is laughing? Guess he doesn't know you put his condo down payment on my card, which I just canceled. My phone rang at 10:04 p.m. on a Tuesday while I was reviewing quarterly taxes in my home office. Video call, Gloria, my wife of 23 years. I stared at the screen for 3 full seconds because Gloria never video called. Texted, yes. Regular calls when she needed something, absolutely. But video? Never. Something cold settled in my chest as I tapped the green button. The screen filled with chaos. Neon beer signs, deafening jukebox noise, someone screaming about karaoke in the background. He picked it up! Gloria's voice was loud, slurred, dripping with that specific brand of arrogance that only comes from cheap tequila and bad decisions. The camera was pointing at a stained ceiling, then swung wildly to show her face. Flushed, makeup smudged, eyes glassy with alcohol and something uglier. Hey, Brian, she said, drawing out my name like it was a punchline. You there, babe? I'm here, I said. My voice came out steady, flat. The voice I used when contractors tried to overcharge me, or when the IRS wanted documentation. The camera shifted. I saw her old drinking crew, Tasha with her bottle blonde hair and permanent sneer, Dakota who'd been between jobs for 6 years, and someone I didn't recognize wearing a backwards baseball cap. Then the camera panned further and my stomach dropped. Luis Moreno, my best friend since college, the guy who'd been best man at my wedding, who I'd lent $15,000 to when his mother needed surgery, who came to my house every Sunday for 20 years to watch football and eat ribs. He was leaning into the frame with a glassy giggle, beer in hand, looking directly at the camera, at me. We're celebrating, Brian, Gloria shouted over the jukebox. Celebrating freedom, Tasha whooped in the background. Dakota raised a shot glass. Freedom from what? I asked, even though I already knew, even though something in my gut had known for months. From you, Gloria shrieked, and the table erupted in laughter. I'm finalizing the divorce tomorrow, babe. I'm done. Done with the nagging, done with you treating me like an employee, done with living like we're poor when we're sitting on all that money. She leaned closer to the camera, her breath probably reeking of tequila even through the phone. I need a man who knows how to have fun. A real man. Not someone who spends Friday nights doing taxes and Sunday mornings fixing gutters. More laughter. Luis covered his mouth in mock shock, but his eyes were dancing. Malicious. Delighted. I'm serious, Gloria continued, her voice rising. I'm taking half, Brian. Half the business, half the house, half the retirement accounts, half of everything you've been hoarding like some sad little dragon. And I'm gonna spend it on a life that doesn't smell like sawdust and paint thinner. She raised her margarita. So, consider this your official notice. You're fired from being my husband. The table exploded. Hooting, hollering. Someone, Dakota, I think, started a chant. Freedom, freedom. Luis just smiled into the camera. A smile I'd seen 1,000 times. The same smile when he beat me at poker. When he got the promotion I'd wanted. When he test drove the truck I'd spent 6 months saving for. The smile of someone who'd been waiting for this moment. 23 years of marriage. 23 years of me working 70-hour weeks building a restoration business from nothing. 23 years of paying off her credit cards, her student loans, her medical bills, her car payments. 23 years of coming home to a wife who resented every single sacrifice I made. And now she was drunk dialing me from a dive bar to announce my replacement. She thought I would cry, thought I would beg, thought I'd be blindsided. She had no idea what I'd been doing for the last 6 weeks. I took a slow breath, set down my pen, leaned back in my chair. Gloria, I said. My voice wasn't loud, but something in it made the laughter die down. Before you celebrate too hard and before you sign anything tomorrow. What? She sneered, emboldened by her audience. You gonna beg me to stay? Offer me counseling? No, I said. I just have one question. I paused. Let the silence stretch. Is Luis laughing? Because I can see him there. Hi, Luis. Luis froze. His smile vanished like someone had flipped a switch. He hadn't realized he was visible on camera. Hadn't realized I could see him sitting there with my wife, celebrating the end of my marriage like it was New Year's Eve. Guess he doesn't know, I continued, my voice dropping an octave, becoming surgical, that you're about to put his condo down payment on my credit card. The table went silent. Gloria blinked, confused. What are you talking about? The $47,000, I said. The closing appointment you have scheduled for 10:30 p.m. tonight at Riverside Lofts. The 2-bedroom condo overlooking the marina. The one you told Luis you'd pay for as the investment in our future together. I watched the color drain from her face in real time. How did you? It's my card, Gloria. It sends me notifications for every transaction over $500. And when I saw a pre-authorization hold for $47,000 from Riverside Lofts Real Estate Group, I got curious. Luis was staring at Gloria now, his expression shifting from confusion to dawning horror. You said, he started. Shut up, Gloria hissed at him, then turned back to the phone. It's my card, Brian. You gave it to me for household expenses. Actually, I said, I gave you a card linked to my business account, Reed Restoration Services, and since I'm the sole proprietor and primary account holder, I moved my cursor over the confirmation button on my laptop. Clicked. I just canceled it. Reported it stolen, actually. Gloria's mouth fell open. You can't. Already did, I said. So when When you try to swipe that card in about, I checked my watch, 23 minutes at the closing appointment, you're going to get a very different response than you expected. I leaned closer to my webcam. Credit card fraud is a felony in this state, Gloria. Using someone else's credit without authorization to make a purchase over $10,000? That's grand larceny. 3 to 7 years. You're insane, she whispered. Maybe, I said, but I'm not the one who's about to get arrested for trying to buy real estate with a stolen credit card. The table was dead silent now. Tasha had her phone out, filming. Dakota was edging toward the exit. Luis looked like he was going to be sick. Oh, and Gloria, I continued. Don't bother coming home tonight. I changed the locks at 6 p.m. Your clothes are in trash bags on the curb. The police have been notified of the protection order. Protection order? Her voice cracked. The one Judge Patricia Sandoval granted me this afternoon. 27 years on the bench. Very sympathetic to cases involving financial abuse and threats of property destruction. I pulled up the document on my screen. You remember the conversation you had on our back deck last Thursday? The one where you told Luis you were going to burn this whole house down before you let Brian keep it? Gloria went white, pure, sheet white. I heard that, Gloria. I have it on video, along with about 40 other hours of footage from the security cameras I installed 3 weeks ago. Let me take you back 6 weeks. That's when I first noticed. Gloria had always been difficult, high maintenance, my mother called it. Spirited, her friend said. I called it exhausting. But somewhere in the last year, difficult had evolved into something darker. We'd met in college. She was getting her communications degree. I was studying business with a minor in historic preservation. She was beautiful, charismatic, the kind of woman who walked into a party and became the center of gravity. I was the quiet guy who fixed things. She said she liked that about me, said she needed someone stable, someone who wouldn't compete with her for attention. We got married 3 months after graduation. Too fast, my father said. Too young, her mother worried. But we were in love, or what I thought was love at 22. The first few years were good. I worked construction while building my restoration business on the side. Gloria bounced between marketing jobs, none of which lasted more than 8 months. They don't appreciate me, she'd say. They're intimidated by someone with vision. I'd nod and pay her credit card bills. By year 5, I'd built Reed Restoration into something real. We specialized in historic homes, Victorian mansions, colonial estates, craftsman bungalows, work that required patience, skill, attention to detail. I loved it. The smell of old wood, the satisfaction of bringing something broken back to life. Gloria hated it. You smell like sawdust, she'd complain. You're always tired. You never want to go out. I'm building something, I'd tell her. You're building an excuse to avoid me, she'd snap back. By year 10, I was employing 12 people. By year 15, we'd restored over 200 properties. By year 20, Reed Restoration was valued at $3.2 million. And by year 23, Gloria had come to resent every penny of it. The Luis thing started about 18 months ago. He'd gone through a bad divorce, lost his house, his car, most of his savings, called me at 2 a.m. one night crying, saying he didn't know what to do. I invited him over, let him sleep on our couch for 2 weeks while he got back on his feet, lent him $15,000 for a deposit on an apartment. Pay me back when you can, I'd said. No rush. Gloria was furious. Why are you giving money to your deadbeat friend when I can't even get you to take me on a decent vacation? Luis isn't a deadbeat. He's struggling. We're all struggling, Brian. But some of us don't get handed $15,000. I didn't hand it to him. I lent it to him. Same difference. But after that, something changed. Gloria started going out more. Girls' nights that lasted until 3 a.m. Networking events that she came home from smelling like cigarettes and cologne. And always, Luis was somewhere in the periphery, liking her Instagram posts at midnight, commenting on her Facebook rants, showing up at our house when he knew I'd be working late. I told myself I was being paranoid. Luis was my friend, my best friend. He wouldn't. She wouldn't. But 6 weeks ago, I came home early from a job site and heard voices in the backyard. Gloria and Luis on the deck, drinking wine, laughing. I stood in the kitchen, listening. You deserve better than this, Luis was saying. A woman like you, stuck with a guy who cares more about crown molding than making you happy. I know, Gloria said. But he's got all the money tied up in that damn business. I can't leave without getting what's mine. So take it, Luis said. Take half. Take more than half. Get a good lawyer. Bleed him. Gloria laughed. You think I haven't thought about it? But Brian's smarter than he looks. Everything's in the business name. The house, the trucks, the tools. If I file for divorce, I might get the retirement accounts and that's it. Then make him pay another way, Luis said. Make his life hell until he just gives you what you want to make it stop. Like what? I don't know. Threaten the business. Threaten the house. Whatever it takes. I stood there in my own kitchen, listening to my wife and best friend plot against me. My hands were shaking, not from anger, from clarity. Cold, brutal clarity. The next morning, I called Raymond Whitfield, lawyer, 31 years of family law, the same guy who'd handled my father's estate. Ray, I said, I need to file for divorce, and I need to protect my business. Tell me everything, he said. I did. Every detail, the spending, the disappearances, the suspicious relationship with Luis. Ray listened without interrupting. When I finished, he said, Brian, before we file anything, you need to document everything, legally. What do you mean? Security cameras, documents, financial records, text messages if you can access them legally. We need to build a case that shows she's been misusing marital assets and planning to defraud you. How long will that take? 4 to 6 weeks if you're thorough. And if I'm not thorough, then she takes half of everything and you spend the next 5 years in court trying to get it back. So I got thorough. I hired Morrison Security Solutions to install cameras. 8 of them. Living room, kitchen, back deck, front porch, driveway, garage. All hidden. All recording in 1080p with audio. They're motion activated, the installer explained. Cloud storage. You can access them from any device. Will she notice? Not unless she's looking for them. I hired Teresa Kwan, forensic accountant. 18 years of experience tracking financial fraud. I need to know where every dollar has gone for the last 3 years, I told her. She delivered a 47-page report in 2 weeks. Gloria had spent $127,000 on credit cards I didn't know existed. Designer clothes, jewelry, hotel rooms, cash advances that went nowhere I could trace. This is financial infidelity, Teresa said, and possibly fraud if she opened these accounts using business information without your knowledge. Can you testify to that? Absolutely. And I waited, watched, documented. The cameras caught everything. Gloria and Luis on the back deck, drinking my whiskey, talking about our future. Gloria on the phone with a real estate agent, asking about 2-bedroom condos under $50,000. I have access to my husband's business account, she said on that call. He won't notice until after it's cleared. Gloria telling Tasha, Brian's so stupid. He thinks I'm staying late at work. I'm planning my exit strategy. Gloria telling Luis, once we get the condo, you can move in and I'll finalize the divorce. He'll never see it coming. 43 hours of footage, all time-stamped, all backed up to 3 separate cloud services, all ready to be entered as evidence. Ray filed the protection order 3 days ago, based on the recording where Gloria said she'd burn the house down if I tried to keep it from her. Judge Sandoval granted it immediately. Mr. Reed, she said, reviewing the evidence, I'm granting this order and I'm issuing a restraint on all joint accounts pending divorce proceeding. Your wife will not have access to any marital funds until a formal settlement is reached. Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Reed, get a good security system. Women who make threats like this sometimes follow through. Already done, Your Honor. I'd changed the locks that afternoon. Packed Gloria's clothes in trash bags, not out of cruelty, out of necessity. Ray's advice, you need to establish that she abandoned the marital home. Put her stuff outside, document it, and if she tries to force entry, call the police. The credit card cancellation was easier than I expected. 1 call to Chase Business Services. I need to report a card as stolen. Which card, Mr. Reed? The one ending in 4782. My wife has been using it without authorization for personal expenses. I see. We'll cancel it immediately and flag any pending transactions. There's a large pre-authorization from Riverside Lofts, $47,000. That will be declined when they attempt to finalize it. Perfect. Now, on this video call, watching Gloria's world collapse in real time, I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no anger, just the cold certainty that I'd made the right choice. You're lying, Gloria said, but her voice shook. You wouldn't do this. Call the bank if you don't believe me, I said. The number's on the back of the card. Oh wait, they kept the card when they flagged it as stolen. Luis grabbed Gloria's arm. What is he talking about? Gloria, the closing is in 20 minutes. We have the appointment. His voice was shrill, panicked. The voice of someone realizing he'd bet everything on a losing hand. Gloria looked at Luis, then back at the phone, then back at Luis. She looked like a cornered animal. Brian, she said, voice cracking. You're joking. You can't do this. That money was ours. Was, I said. Past tense. As of 4 p.m. today, Judge Sandoval froze all joint accounts pending divorce proceedings. You have access to exactly $0 of marital funds. I'll sue you. I'll tell the judge you cut me off financially. That's abuse. Tell him, I said, and I'll show him the 47 hours of surveillance footage showing you planning to commit credit card fraud. I'll show him the forensic accounting report documenting $127,000 in unauthorized spending. I'll show him the text where you told Luis you were going to bleed me dry. I paused, and then I'll press criminal charges. Gloria's face crumpled. Criminal charges? Credit card fraud, theft, conspiracy to commit fraud. Ray thinks we have enough for all 3. Who's Ray? Raymond Whitfield, my lawyer. 31 years of family law, former prosecutor. He's very excited about this case. Luis was staring at Gloria like she'd just grown a second head. You said the card was fine, he hissed. You said your husband wouldn't notice. He won't, Gloria insisted. Brian, you're bluffing. You wouldn't actually test me, I said. She pulled out the credit card, the black Chase business card I'd given her 3 years ago for household emergencies. Her hands were shaking. She flagged down a passing waitress. Excuse me, can I close out my tab? The waitress, young, probably college-aged, absolutely not paid enough for this drama, nodded. Sure, hun. What table? 12. Be right back. Gloria kept the phone pointed at me while we waited. Luis was whispering urgently in her ear. Tasha was filming the whole thing on her phone. Dakota had disappeared entirely. The waitress returned with a tablet. Okay, that's $63 for the table. Gloria handed her the card without looking at it. Run this. The waitress swiped it, frowned, swiped again, tapped the screen several times, then looked up with an expression that was part confusion, part concern. Ma'am, it's declined. That's impossible, Gloria said. Try again. I did. did, 3 times. It's saying, pickup card, report fraud. The waitress held up the card. I'm sorry, but I have to keep this. It's bank policy when a card is flagged as stolen. Stolen? Gloria lunged for it. That's my card! Give it back! The waitress stepped backward, clutching the card. Ma'am, please don't yell at me. Do you have another form of payment? Gloria froze, looked at Luis. Babe, do you have your wallet? The look Luis gave her could have curdled milk. Pure disgust, pure rage. My wallet? He said, voice rising. You told me you were handling this. You told me the condo was taken care of. You told me it is taken care of, Gloria insisted. He's messing with us. He's trying to scare us. I'm not trying to do anything, I said through the phone. I did it. The card is canceled. The account is frozen. And in about 12 minutes, when you don't show up to that closing appointment with payment, you're going to lose your deposit. What deposit? Luis said. Gloria didn't answer. Gloria? Luis said slowly. What deposit? I put down $2,000, she mumbled, to hold the unit. 2,000 of whose dollars? Mine. You don't have any money, Luis shouted. You told me you were broke. You told me your husband controlled everything. He does. He did. I used a credit card. Which credit card? Gloria didn't answer. Luis's face went from red to purple. You used another one of his cards for the deposit, didn't you? It's a joint account. There is no joint account, I interrupted. All accounts are in the business name. Every card she has access to is a business card that I can cancel at any time, which I just did. All of them. Luis stood up, grabbed his jacket. I'm done. Luis, wait. No. He pointed at her, hand shaking. You told me you had money. You told me you were getting half in the divorce. You told me we were buying a condo together. We are. With what? He screamed. You're broke. You're homeless. Your husband just locked you out and canceled your cards and you thought, what? That I was going to support you? He started laughing. Not a happy laugh. A bitter, ugly sound. I'm not going down with you, Gloria. Find someone else to be your retirement plan. And he walked out. The bar had gone completely silent. Everyone was watching. Phones were out. This would be on social media in minutes. Gloria looked back at the phone. At me. Her eyes were red. Mascara running. Brian, she whispered. Please, don't do this. We can work this out. We can't, I said. You called me to announce you were divorcing me. You humiliated me in front of your friends and my supposed best friend. You planned to steal from me. You threatened to destroy my property. I leaned forward. So no, Gloria. We're not working anything out. Ray will send you the divorce papers tomorrow. You'll get exactly what the law entitles you to, which, given your behavior, won't be much. I'll fight this. I'll get a lawyer. With what money? I asked. You're currently $63 in debt to a bar and you can't pay it. How exactly are you retaining counsel? Her mouth opened, closed. Nothing came out. The waitress is still waiting for payment, I said. I'd suggest you call someone. Maybe Tasha can spot you. I looked at Tasha in the frame. Can you spot her, Tasha? Tasha held up her hands. I'm not involved in this. That's what I thought. I disconnected the call, closed my laptop, sat in the sudden silence of my office. My phone buzzed 30 seconds later. Text from Luis. You're a vindictive bastard, I replied, and you're a fraud who targeted a married woman for her money. How'd that work out? He didn't respond. Another text. Gloria, please. I'm stuck here. I don't have money for an Uber. I don't have anywhere to go. I stared at it for a long moment, then typed, call your mother, call Tasha, call Luis, call anyone you want, just don't call me. Blocked her number. The divorce took 4 months. Ray was ruthless. Presented the surveillance footage, the forensic accounting report, documentation of Gloria's unauthorized credit card spending, text messages between her and Luis planning to use my business accounts for personal purchases, the attempted real estate fraud, everything. Gloria's lawyer, a guy named Preston Mills who advertised on bus benches, tried to argue that I'd isolated her financially. Ray buried him. Your client spent $127,000 without my client's knowledge or consent. That's not isolation. That's theft. Judge Sandoval agreed. Gloria got 15% of marital assets. No alimony. The judge ruled she'd forfeited it through financial misconduct. No claim to the business. It was established before marriage, and she'd never been involved in operations. She got her retirement account and a small settlement. About $40,000 total. The credit card fraud charges were dropped after she paid back the $2,000 deposit she'd forfeited at Riverside Lofts. Ray advised me not to press it. You've won, he said. Pressing charges just makes you look vindictive. I am vindictive. Don't prove it in court. Luis moved to Arizona 3 weeks after the incident. Didn't say goodbye, didn't apologize, just disappeared. I got a text from a mutual friend. Did you hear Luis left? Said there was nothing left for him here. I didn't respond.